Hi, it's Dawson here from EFT Universe, and I'd like to share with you today about using EFT and energy psychology for depression. Now, I deeply sympathize with you because the reason you chose this video to watch is probably because you are suffering from depression or someone you know is suffering from depression, and it is not a fun place to be in. I recently had a friend of mine who's part of a social group I'm part of best-selling authors, and his wife got in touch with our group and said, hey, my husband has been spiraling down now for many, many years. He is really, really depressed. He's been on medication for a long time. He is estranged from his children. That's depressed him more. And I made sure she knew of all the resources. I hooked her up with a good therapist to do energy therapies with her husband. Now, I have to say that, unfortunately, this intervention was not successful. Even though I did everything I could to encourage her and her husband to go to the therapist, they did not. And she just posted in the group a short while ago that on Easter morning, he'd gone over to a neighboring building, 26 stories tall, and jumped off the roof. And his depression had led him to suicide. And those stories just really, really get to me. I always make sure I tell people suffering from depression that there is an answer, there is a way out. So don't wait till you're suicidal. Intervene early, intervene as soon as you possibly can. There are also many wonderful stories of using EFT for depression and a lot of great research in our research database on the empirical results of tapping. They really do make a difference. In my book, The EFT Manual, on page 31, I have the story of Carrie Reed. And Carrie has a moving story she wrote for us about her battle with depression. And it's called, it's called Battling a Giant with Very Small Rocks. And that's what she likened it to. She said when she was depressed, it was like putting a little drop of ink into a big bowl of water. It just got a little bit grayer. And then it got grayer still. And then everything got grayer. And eventually she just felt so hopeless, she just thought it was too big to deal with. She would just go to sleep and try and forget it all and wake up and the gray cloud was still there. And she says that when she began to tap, it seemed so ineffective. It was like this giant of depression that overshadowed her whole life. She said it was like taking a little tiny pebble and throwing it at the giant. It seemed to have no effect. But a little bit of the giant did chip off. And then she said, I threw another pebble, I tapped again, and a little bit more of the giant chipped off. And then another piece chipped off. And she said, you know, I battled the giant with these really small rocks, and eventually the giant just crumbled away. If you look at our research database, you'll see there's a lot of research that covers depression, and at last count, there were over 30 studies showing that people who use EFT tapping are able to recover from depression, and that the average amount depressive symptoms go down in just a few sessions is 35%. That's a really good result from a very small application of these wonderful energy therapies. So I encourage you to try EFT and energy psychology for depression. Also get involved, if you'd like to, with our energy psychology certification program. We have a wonderful year-long program. It'll train you in being an energy psychology professional, and it'll give you all kinds of tools to do that. It also has a final module called the Abundant Client Attraction System, where we show you how to bring people into your practice and automatically attract customers and also attract money into your life as part of getting certified as an energy healing practitioner. So you can go and click the link below to download a course sampler of the certification program, and do know that help is there. Even though it might seem like you're battling this terrifying looming giant with tiny rocks, that EFT is effective for depression, you can get through it, and you deserve to live a life to your full potential. Thank you so much.